The top epidemiologists and doctors just met with U.S. Homeland Security, where they revealed that there is sustained community infection of the coronavirus, of which they are unaware within the United States. Dr. Gottlieb said that it would be crazy to think that they had gotten all of the people that had the coronavirus at the border and had them contained. That in actuality, you have to assume that there's been others that are going undetected right now and spreading it unknowingly into America. The epidemiologist explained that for every person that they know has the virus, there's between 7 and 8 other people that are undetected that have the virus. So even if people, maybe half those people know that they're feeling sick and they self-quarantine, that's great. There's still some people out there that are spreading this. What's the rate of spread? Like, what does that mean? The R naught of the coronavirus is between 2 and 3. So the R naught is for one person that's sick, how many people do they get sick? So with the coronavirus, one person on average gets 2 people or 3 people sick. So you can see how this works. One person might get 3 people sick. This person gets 2 people sick. This person gets 2 more people sick. This person gets 3 more people sick. You understand, this grows exponentially. And so they are assuming that right now within the states there is sustained community spread that they are unaware of. When asked when they would become aware of it, they said that when it does come to light what's happening, that they should prepare for thousands of cases. And then she checked herself, one of the epidemiologists, and said actually hundreds of thousands of cases. Now, not all of those hundreds of thousands of cases would be severe and need hospitalization, but what she's saying is that's how many people can in fact become infected with this in the US. So what is the critical rate? Like, how many people actually need to go to the hospital? Like, I've heard this is not as bad as the flu. It's not that bad, right? Okay, hold up there. First of all, the death rate for the coronavirus, let's say it's 1%. Now, this number is not accurate because we're not getting accurate numbers yet, but it's a good estimation or possibility. So just to put that in comparison, the death rate for the regular seasonal flu is 0.1. So it's quite a number higher. And the seasonal flu, for the R naught of the seasonal flu, like how many people does the average person pass the seasonal flu on to? They pass it on to 1.28. So this is how many people they pass it on to. So it's not as contagious as coronavirus is. The coronavirus is more contagious. Now, the death rate, the mortality rate is not the only concerning thing about the coronavirus. Because you might think, well, as 1 out of 100 people die, I mean, that's sad, but like, it's not going to impact me that much, right? It's just like 1 out of 100. Okay, hold up there, buddy. You're right, it's 1 out of 100. When we get into millions, though, that is a lot of people. But the real concerning thing is what's going to happen when people become critically ill. So more than 1% of people become critically ill and need to go into the ICU. So we can make a rough estimate that between 5 and 15% potentially become critically ill. So let's say that it's 5% of people. We'll be modest, okay? Let's say there's a city of 1 million people. Let's say that the virus has been spreading and it's at its peak now. And every day between 1 and 5% of people catch this sickness. That means that every single day, if you crunch the numbers, if 5% of people become critically ill and between 1 and 5% become ill every single day, this means that needing hospital admission every single day in a city of 1 million is between 500 people and 2,500 people. This is why we're worried, folks. This is the number that we're worried about. We're worried that a massive amount of people are going to need hospitalization and critical care, oxygen, and round-the-clock care, and we're not going to have the resources available. let's just take a fraction of that number. Like, let's not say even the minimum of 500 a day. Let's just go like way down, and let's do 10% of 500. That's just 50 people. Like, that's totally reasonable, okay? That will likely happen. Let's say 50 people need hospitalization and to be in the ICU every single day in a city of 1 million. Even that number, our healthcare cannot manage. If there was a car crash and 40 cars smashed into each other and 50 people were critically ill and rushed to the hospital, they would be pretty maxed out. But imagine that the next day, another huge car crash happened. And then imagine the day after that, maybe a huge train crash happened and 50 more people needed to go into the ICU. You can see how after a few days, things are unmanageable. So this is why you should be more worried about the coronavirus, because if it continues to spread, we are going to see healthcare systems collapse. They're not going to be able to manage the people. This means that you're not going to be able to get the care that you might need. So you need to take your own safety into your own hands. You can help yourself in this situation, and I want to help you with how you can. And let me tell you, I'm not going to lie to you and say it's just by washing your hands more, okay? Like, that's bullshit. It's not just washing your hands more. Like, this is spreading in communities, and if hospitals become overwhelmed and you need to take care of your own spouse or your own child that has the coronavirus and you don't want to also catch it, they're not going to be able to put them all in a hospital or in a quarantine station perhaps. Maybe they will open stadiums and they will be able to do that eventually, but there's also a possibility that you might be asked to just take care of them at home and to protect yourself as best you can. Let me tell you, washing your hands won't be enough to protect you then. You need more protection. So having a face mask. I don't believe the media narrative that is trying to shame people away from buying face masks when other countries need them. We are also going to need them. We are only maybe 6 or 8 weeks behind what things are like in those other countries like China. Things are going to ramp up here, and we're going to want and need masks and be grateful for them. If your spouse becomes sick, you need a mask. You need a mask to cover your face, and you need goggles to cover the mucous membranes in your eyes so that you don't become sick. Now, right now, you might be checking out. You might be like, oh, this lady is like, she's wearing a tinfoil hat. Listen, I'm not, okay? I'm just telling you that if the worst case scenario happens, you want to be prepared. I mean, do you really want to be the person on board the Titanic that doesn't get off the lifeboat at the start when it's easy to get off? Do you really want to wait until the ship is tilted like this and you're for sure worried about it? Like, don't be that person. Get prepared now, when it's easy to prepare. When people are not like in a huge lineup at the grocery store. Get prepared now. Okay, so let me coach you through this, what you might need in case your spouse or child was sick and you needed to care for them. First of all, you need bleach, because bleach kills the coronavirus. So you can wash your floors with the bleach, you can spray it in a bottle to help disinfect you. Be careful with the portions. Bleach is dangerous, but it's effective. You need a mask to cover your face and your nose. Don't forget your nose. You need goggles. You can wear swim goggles. Don't go out and freak out if you can't buy special goggles. Just wear swim goggles. And then even if this doesn't happen, worst case doesn't happen, you've got a nice pair of swim goggles. You just need something that will protect your eyes fully. These glasses won't work. Air particles can get in here. This is not safe. So, and then you want to be wearing something like, if I had a hoodie, I would wear like a hoodie and like pull the string like tight, to be honest, if I was taking care of a patient. And then you want to make sure that you have a barrier between yourself and them. So they're off in like a corner room, and you have like a sheet that you can put down, whether it's like a bed sheet or a shower curtain. You can pick up a shower curtain for like $1. You want to have that in between the rooms. So I would have like the door here, and on the other side I would also have the shower curtain, just to keep those particles of air out. You want to try and have a window that you can open up, because when the fresh air comes in, that's good. That means that the virus is not just being able to stagnate in the room over and over, that the fresh air can help clear it out. These are just some basics that you want to have available. Oh, and gloves. Okay, just to note like how viral this is. The doctors in Wuhan in the critical care units that are dealing with the patients, they wear 3 layers of latex gloves. They also wear 3 layers of suits on them. So this is to show you how actually infectious the coronavirus is and how dangerous it can potentially be. This is how you want to protect yourself. So get those things now. Don't be like, oh, this lady's crazy. Like, literally, the Department of Homeland Security said, not the department, sorry, but the epidemiologists coaching the department, the experts in this, said that there is sustained community spread right now that they're unaware of. So if you're telling yourself, well, I'm keeping an eye on the news, and as soon as cases come up in my area, then I'm going to, be more worried about it. No. Then everybody's going to be worried about it. And then you're going to be in this long lineup at Walmart trying to buy the supplies that you need, surrounded by other people that could possibly be infected. Because by the time they learn of where these epidemics are, it's already going to be like all around you. Because there's people that are asymptomatic, there's people that have mild symptoms. It's a dangerous situation to be in. You want to be prepared right now. The safest time to prepare was yesterday. The second safest is today. So get what you need today. What else do I need from the store? You need food supplies. I looked at China. I teach Chinese students every day, and these students are in self-quarantine. I'm not just teaching students from Wuhan. No, the Wuhan students, they're on lockdown, but the rest of China is on self-quarantine. So they don't go outside unless they absolutely have to get something. They're just staying inside all the time. So do you have enough food in your house to stay inside for 2 weeks? Do you have enough to stay inside for 3 weeks or 4 weeks? This is what you want to be thinking about. If I were you, I would get enough to be inside for 2 months, just because this is potentially very serious. You don't want to be walking around when the rate of infection is high outside. If you can, you want to be able to hunker down if you need to. So food supplies that I would recommend. White rice lasts forever. Canned vegetables, canned fruit. All these items are not going to be a waste of money if you get them and the coronavirus doesn't actually pan out to be what we're worried about. It still lasts, it's still food. You're still going to go through it and use it, okay? So just get the food so that you're not worried later about not having enough food. You don't want to be stuck in a situation where you're going to the store and risking your health and potentially even your life just for some food because you didn't have enough at home. Just get a whole bunch of instant noodles. Be prepared. Lastly, cleaning supplies. Like I said, you want to buy bleach for yourself. You want to buy any normal supplies, so that if you were in quarantine, you'd be comfortable. Toilet paper, deodorant, toothpaste, conditioner, shampoo, anything that you normally have, just get some extra of it so that if you are in quarantine, you're okay and you're comfortable, you're at home, you're not at risk of infection. Try and work out an arrangement with your job. Ask them right now. If this coronavirus becomes serious here, is there a way that I can work from home? How can we do this? What would happen to my job? You need to be having these conversations now. The CDC department has a pandemic, preparing your family for a pandemic flu document, which I will link to down below. And this is one of the things that they suggest. You talk to your employer about how you could work away from work. You also need to come to grips with the fact that your kids might be out of school for a long time. 2 weeks or a month, they might be out of school because this is such a serious thing that we might all have to do the same measures that China is taking right now. So if that happened, would you need childcare? Who would take care of your child? How would you ensure that your child is safe with this other person? These are all things that you want to be thinking about now, so that if it happens later, you know what your plan is. You're not scared, you go forward with confidence, because that's what you need in these days, is you need confidence. And this is why I'm telling you this. I'm not fear-mongering, okay? Fear-mongering. I hate when people say that. It's like, oh, I have a fire alarm in my house. Oh man, you must be a fear-monger. You only have a fire alarm if you're worried about a fire, man. Like, get real. Fire's never gonna happen in your house. Yeah, hopefully it won't ever happen, but it's there in case I need it. With the same thing, hopefully this pandemic does not happen, but you need to be prepared for it in case it does. And I'm teaching you the most that I know about how to be prepared. I've done nothing but look into this for the last 2 weeks because this is serious and I am worried about it. It is something to be worried about. You get over it and then you can prepare. The fear will paralyze you. It's better to be prepared so that you're not fearful and you can go forward with confidence. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. I've given a lot of information here. I have a lot of links that I can put down below. The point is it's spreading and you need to be prepared. Okay? All right. Thanks. Peace out.
Perfect.